Hey guys, how's it going today? Beautiful day in sunny Florida. You gotta love it. Gotta love. Oh, look at here. Sucked a pint out of me today. Every other month. I'm up to getting close to 6 gallons. Yeah, 6 gallons. I told them to give it to the troops. Give it to our Navy SEALs. Of course, them Navy SEALs, I don't know how often they get cut. They do a lot of cutting, but I don't know how often they bleed. But they do bleed, and we do lose one once in a while, so we got to support the troops, guys. So donating blood is a good thing to do. I just had to, you know, play a little doctor with you today because I don't know these doctors that we have out here right now. The majority of them, it's just getting spooky what they're doing. But yeah, like my doctor, I had that other one I told you about before, the one I made him cry. Yeah, I asked him the question, how much longer do I have to live? And that choked him up, man. I'll tell you what, that right there made him sad. So I got a fan running over here. This constant, just a minute. I'm going to shut this off. I got to get used to the heat anyway, right guys? It's summer coming on. Actually, it's not that bad in here. Oh, but the hell heat is coming. And the best part about hell heat is honeybees. I'll tell you what, guys, we'll be making bees now. It's coming on. Martin gave me a little email there. He said he had last Friday he had yeah, 20 degrees and 3 inches of snow up in Wolverine, Michigan. Yeah. Hopefully his new little honey queen here, Michigan queen, that he brought down. He brought down his best colony. He was playing with those all, during the winter and making some. I don't know how many he made up, but I guess he made up and grafted quite a few queens. And this one here, he left here because he said there's no way she's going to make it up there because she won't have any, good drone action up there when he gets there. And so hopefully this one will come back. I've got these bees out here from Georgia are doing really well. I mean, they are cranking we got that new moon coming up on the 22nd or 3rd, I forget. I'll have to read a check. I want to get in there, and we're going to play with the I want to play a little. I haven't done this before. I want to do some walkaways. I'm not going to buy any more bees this year. I'm not buying any queens. I'm not going to buy any cells. No, we're going to let the girls do what I have. Existing stock. I have some nice stock now. And so what we'll do, I want to play with the two framers. I want to take a whole frame of food and honey, pollen and honey. And I want to take one frame of just about solid brood with a few eggs. And all the bees are going to go in that two framer. I want to haul at least 2 of them over to that other yard. I can only put 4 hives over there. The owner only wants me to do 4 hives. I could put, oh God, I could put 200 over there. Nobody know the difference. But, he's got a caretaker there, and I don't want the caretaker to get zapped. So we must obey by the rules. And that's when you guys get a location, go by the rules. Don't piss anybody off because you're going to get in there. Say, ask him up front, what are the rules? And you'll know after a while what you can get away with on a site as far as people, livestock, and that sort of thing. And so you'll know after a while what you can get away with. So I want to take the 2 framers. I'm thinking a couple. We'll just make maybe 2, and I'd like to pop out 1 or 2 5 framers. But in that scenario, we will take 3 frames to make that up. 1 of food and 2 of just about solid brood and bees with just a few eggs, minimal amount of eggs. And we might do some on the spot You know, that's the notching technique. OTS. On the spot. OTS will notch a few where the eggs are, and that way they can draw those out. I dummied up that last video you saw me do out here. I went to that N5 framer, and it had a 523 check on it. Well, we checked it, and we got two big honking cells on there. Big cells. Now, hopefully I didn't damage them, getting them in and out of there. See, that's why I don't like screwing around in hives for 30 days. Once you set them up, date it, go away for 30 days, put that food on there. Because while you're making that queen, you want them to have the maximum amount of food to produce the maximum amount of royal jelly to feed that larva until they seal it. You want a lot of jelly in there. That makes the best queens. So that's why swarm cells make best queens, because they just really cram the royal jelly to them things. If you were to take some swarm cells and rip them open and look in there, them puppies are packed full of royal jelly. So yeah, we'll do that. And I thought I'd throw this little doctor thing out at you here. You know, we got these doctors. This is my latest doctor. I like the guy. I really do. He may be even watching this video. I don't know. He knows I have a YouTube site. But anyway, I like him. But, you know, this is the shenanigans that goes on. He's telling me you have to take... This one I have now, he used to be a fist pounder. He'd pound the table. I mean fist pounder, guys. Let me just clear that up. Fist pounder means you're going to listen to me. You're going to listen to me when I tell you something. That's one of those guys. Anyway, I found out that intimidation thing didn't work with old Steve-O at all. No, it doesn't work. I don't care how big and bad you are. You can come up and intimidate me all you want. If you want to take a swing at me, go ahead for it. You know, go ahead. You probably will kick my ass. But anyway, not without a fight, you know. But anyway, I'm more of a lover, you guys, you know, than a fighter, you know. That's why I love my honeybees so much. But anyway, yeah, he told me I had to do all this stuff, you know, and you got to do this, you got to do that. You have to take my medications. You just have to do. Don't ever tell a person why they're the way they are. No, don't ever do that. No, if you're a doctor, don't ever do that. I guess they're trained that way by Big Pharma to not mention that, so they can hook you up with all the goody stuff that they have. That none of it that I've seen, guys, I mean none of it. It's got a laundry list 4 miles long on everything they do, and this drug will screw up that. Okay, now you got that problem. Okay, we got to give you another drug to counteract that, and back and forth and back and forth. And next thing you know, you're up to 26 medications, like my BA buddy is on. That's a sad story there, and he doesn't listen. He won't listen to old Steve-O. Told him to clean it up, bro. Just, you know, he's a hunter like me. You know, you ought to understand the laws of nature if you're a hunter, because we're out there looking at nature all the time. We're looking to see him. Well, he's not a beekeeper, though. No. Actually, he was one of the guys that gave me my first beehive. He got the crap stung out of him way back in the day when I was thinking about this. Is way back in the early 60s. I've known him since back then. And I was getting into bees, and we're wanting to get into bees. I was talking to him about bees, because we'd hunted a little bit. He said, I got one in my backyard. I said, really? Yeah, we caught a swarm. And then I went out there and tried to work them. He didn't have equipment, probably. He had no smoker, probably. I don't think he did. I don't know what he had. They ate him up pretty good. And so he said, you can come and get this box, but you better have some stuff, because they're pretty mean. I said, okay. So back in them days, I didn't have much either. I had a smoker, though, and I did have a goofy-looking head net, but that was about it. I mean, I didn't have anything. But anyhow, I went over there and I took my dad over there and we loaded that thing up. I put it in the back of in his trunk of his car and brought it home. So that's one of the hives I got started with. And then I caught some more swarms and stuff. But yeah, it's getting back to me. I drifted off a little bit there, but getting back to the doctor, he telling me how to do all this good stuff, right? And then all of a sudden he comes up missing. The doctor comes up missing. Oh, and I was due for a go in and check with him because he had me on this little rotation thing like every other month. Every other month you got to come and see me. We're going to check your blood pressure. Of course, they're dipping into they got you. If you got insurance, he probably wouldn't do this to you if you're paying out of pocket. But with that insurance, boy, you can get right into that goodie, that little cookie jar there. So yeah, so he had me coming in every other month, and then all of a sudden he's up, disappears. Oh, where's the doctor? Well, he'll be out. Oh, we'll have to cancel you for now, but he'll be out for at least 6 weeks. I think it was 10 weeks before he showed back up. But in the meantime, Miss Daisy, she worked at the sheriff department. She was the head secretary down at the sheriff department. Just so happens we knew a lot of cops. I know quite a few cops, thanks to Miss Daisy. And they always told Miss Daisy that she'd come in sometimes, and she's one of those, like a peach, you bump it, peach, and it'll bruise. So she's kind of like that. And she got a bruise somewhere on her arm or something. And anyway, one of the cops said, "Who did that?" And there were several other cops standing around the other room. "Who did that to you?" And pretty soon that caught the eye of other cops, and they came in there to Miss Daisy's office. "Who did that to you? Did Steve-O do that to you?" "No, I bumped myself in the kitchen when I was..." "You sure?" "Yeah, because we'll take him out. We'll take him out of the food chain. If he hurts you in any way, you let us know. We got your back, okay? We'll take him out." Thanks, guys. Appreciate that, So if she ever wanted to take me out, all she would have... She's retired now, but anyway, she could probably still call him up and say, "Hey, I'm having problems over here. You guys want to come over and handle old Steve-O? He's out of control." They'd probably be right here. Yeah, they'd take me out of the food chain. They never would find my carcass. I'll tell you what, they'd have me gone somewhere. Anyway, the cop happens to be one of the patients also with my same doctor and Miss Daisy's doctor, right? So he comes in, and just so happens his sister works the phones down there at the doctor's office, the same doctor. See how small little world we have here, guys? So anyway, he said, my sister says that he's gone in for a 4-way bypass. Really? Now here's the fella telling me how to get my act together, right? Let's not talk about what you're putting in your pie hole. No, don't talk about that. Because they know you're on a standard American diet, right? They know. They know this is bad. They know it's sugar. You might as well take, guys, if you're on a standard American diet, you might as well take a snow shovel and go out there and you start snow shoveling that stuff down your throat. That's about what you're getting, all right? So anyway, yep, here's the best part the cop said that his sister told him. See, you never would have found this out. We didn't have a tight little community, right? He didn't stay in. Now, if I needed a 4-way bypass, I'd have to stay in my little, insurance loop here. Right. But he didn't trust any of these surgeons around here in my state of Florida. I'm sure there's plenty of good heart surgeons here. He had to have a little special one. And he went out of pocket, mind you, and went to New York, because he's from New York, and he knew all the doctors up there. He got the very best of the best surgeons, heart surgeons in New York, to do his 4-way bypass. So yeah, I didn't give him no heat or anything, guys. I was very nice about the whole thing. He was gone about 10 weeks. And he finally came back, and I came in, and he had a whole different little demeanor on him. Now I think he's on a different health kick, but he knows them pills that they push helps pay the light bill and office personnel and probably the rental of that building. Just with me coming through that door, you know, all these doctor delights like I was. Yeah, unreal. I've been off that medication for a long time. He doesn't even know it yet. He probably will if he looks at this video. He'll probably be slamming his fist on the table and going berserko. I went in there one day, and that wasn't, you know how you get sometimes. You're just not all that chippy of a mood, you know. Maybe I had a couple of beehives fall down or something. I forget why I wasn't all that chippy. And I went in there and I sat down. And this was quite a long time ago. And I sat down, and he walks in the room. He's got this little walkie-talkie. He talks into this recorder. You got to cover your ass, you know. You got to talk into this recorder. Make sure you're really, you know, in case you get in a firefight with some attorneys or something, you know. And he looks at me and he says, "Oh, I got Mr. Dennis here with me now," and he looks depressed. He looks depressed. I'm like, "I do? Oh." So I sat there waiting for umpteen, I don't know, an hour or something, or hour and a half after my appointment. No wonder I'm a little depressed, right? I got things to do. I got bees to work. I got projects going on here. Sitting here tying up my time in a doctor's office. Are you kidding? So that's one maybe reason I wasn't all chippy. Oh, Mr. Dennis here, he's looking depressed. Oh, he has this issue, he has that issue. He went down the laundry list. I mean, I did have some issues, guys. I mean, laundry list. And I've got this, and he says, I'm going to, okay, I got to write him a script. Huh? Right. So he gets off his walkie-talkie, lays that down, he's done with that. Grabs out his little pen and his pad, script pad. There you go. What is this, Doc? Oh, it's just a little pill. It's just a little pill. Oh, little pill. For yeah, you're a little depressed. You're a little depressed. Have you guys ever seen the laundry list on those pills? Oh, side effects. Oh my God. I saw one the other day on the thing. This drug they're running on TV. I couldn't believe it. They were going down through the laundry list of side effects. And one of it was gangrene of the genitals. Hey, sign me up for some of that. Hey, Doc, my testicles are turning black and blue and they don't smell very good. I think they're rotting off. Oh, I got to change meds on you, bro. Yeah, that stuff there, yeah, it does have that side effect. Yeah, but Doc, they don't look good. I think they're gone. Yeah, are you guys kidding me or what? Really? Gangrene of the genitals. Sign me up for that. Whoa, wow. It's just hard to believe, guys, what's going on. But all those drugs, guys. So I got to keep preaching on you a little bit, get on my soapbox, you know, to watch what you're doing. I'm still on, not total, I cheated a little bit today. I took a bunch of bacon grease and threw it in that great big old skillet, and I had Miss Daisy bought me 2 big sacks of green beans, those long ones, you know, fresh green beans. And they got that little stem you got to pop off and throw that away. And I went through all those, cleaned them up, rinsed them all, got 2 big old gobs of bacon grease. I save all my bacon grease. And Miss Daisy cooked me up a couple, 3 pounds of that yesterday. Boy, that was good. That bacon, oh man. Yeah, that stuff is great. So she saves the bacon grease. I put a couple big old scoops of bacon grease in that cast iron skillet and then threw them beans in there. And put all my seasoning. I put sea salt, pepper, ginger, turmeric. What else did I throw in there? I threw in garlic powder, onion powder in there. That is excellent. And what you do, get that stuff sizzling good in there and get your tongs and flip that stuff around. Get that grease all over those beans. Once you do that, get some beef stock and pour in there and throw a lid on it. That's it. Come back, 10 minutes. Just some people like their veggies a little crunchier than others. I tend to have them a little bit on the crunch side myself. So you just sample it. And I didn't eat a lot of that. I pulled a T-bone out of there. I had a T-bone just a while ago, and had a little bit of beans, and that's all I'm going to eat today. I am full, guys. I had a pound and a little over a pound of T-bone, and I had those beans, and those are keto friendly, by the way. But make sure you cook them up in bacon grease and some beef stock. Excellent. Don't fall into this big lie, okay? And it is a lie that animal fats plug up your heart. That is nonsense. It's crazy corruption that they've been spreading forever. Don't listen to that. You don't need to be a doctor to give out that advice. No, you don't. You need some common sense in your hair-covered computer, okay? Yeah, you need a little common sense in there, and stop listening to the silly shenanigans. And I feel great. Just like I said, one meal a day, that's enough. That's enough. You don't need any more. If you get a little hungry or something, have a little handful of almonds or something. Drink you some green tea. Don't put no sugar in that stuff. No, get off all sugar. And you can be just like old Steve-O. Get away from all these doctors' craziness, and we're going to starve them out. Okay? They're going to get hungry, real hungry. But if you don't follow the Maker's plan, and it's the Maker's plan, it's not Steve-O's plan. I am just the messenger. That's all I am. Do not shoot the messenger, okay? Even if you tried to shoot the messenger, it wouldn't work because I've been told I'm protected, okay? So if I ever go away, you never see me again, maybe old Steve-O wasn't protected. There's a possibility. You can say, I don't think old Steve-O was protected all that well. But I don't think that's going to happen, okay? I'm here to just help people with honeybees, with a little bit of lifestyle action, right? And feeling good. That's what it's all about. Feeling good, guys. And living to your maximum. Now, what is your maximum? We don't know. We don't know. Anybody that's been on the standard American diet, you can pretty much, you might even make it to 100. But I'll tell you what, my mom and dad, they got up into their early 80s. But, here's the big Bertha but on that, okay. 30 years before checkout time, 30 years before, their life was going down, down, down in miserable hell shape, listening to modern medical and big pharma. Yes. So what good is it? By the time they both passed, oh, they were ready. They were probably ready the year before. Yeah. But let's go ahead and torture you one more year. And so this is why I think the way I do, guys. You know, why I keep ragging on this situation, because innocent people are checking out for no reason. It doesn't need to happen. It's all because of greed, and basically that's it, greed. I don't care if these doctors are all driving Lamborghinis and are living in a mansion on the waterfront. I don't care, okay? Could care less. And you don't need to be rich. You don't need to be rich to love life, enjoy life. You don't need to be rich. If you have your health, guys, let me tell you something. If you write this down, Let me repeat that. If you have your health, let me repeat that. If you have your health, you are one of the richest people on planet Earth, okay? Don't let nobody tell you anything different. All right? So that's my little soapbox today. Thank you for coming by, and let's go out. Let's go out back. I want to show you something. I should start growing wings, guys. I really should. I should start having wings come out of my back. Because I've been a little pollinator. Can you imagine that? I had my little, remember me telling you about my little paintbrush thing? Last year I didn't do any of that paintbrush thing. I did see one of my little baby girl honeybees in a flower, in one of those butternut squash flowers the other day. And that's the first time I've seen a bee in one of them. I mean, I don't sit there like this all day looking at, you know, butternut squash blooms. But I go by, you know, I observe things. Never have seen a bee in. I had last year, the ones I did get, and I marked them. I kind of put a little marker, I forget what I did. I put a stone by that bloom or whatever. I saw a big old bumblebee. Actually, he worked around, or she did. She was working around the blooms, bumblebees. Yeah. Kind of wanted to get into bumblebees one time, and I went out there and looked a little bit. They're around here, but not in any really quantities. You can make little traps. I studied it a little bit, but actually I forgot what I studied because it just kind of went right there. Because I didn't think it was very feasible. They put them in. They put bumblebees in these hoop houses, large ones. I guess you can actually pull that off. You can put bumblebee hives, and they're small units. They're like this big. Inside of hoop houses, and you can pollinate all your goodies in there, your cucumbers, and you couldn't put a you know, Italian bees in there. You know, I don't think you couldn't pull that one off unless you had access both ways, maybe to the inside of the hoop house and actually outside, maybe two entrances, one in and one out on the sidewall of a hoop house. You might be able to get away with that deal. So that way they could come and go, they could come out into your hoop house and then come out. I just came up with that one there. Somebody ought to try that. Let me know if that works. But let them have access to the outside too. But yeah, let's go out and check them out here. We're not going to be playing with the bees until 22. And we'll try to make up some two-framers. We'll see how many we can get. I don't want to knock them down too much. We'll take them all out of the good stuff. Anything that looks good out here with a good disposition and a great brood pattern, we will be stealing some stuff out of those and making up some more. And I think we're going to keep fooling around like that all the way up to, I'm probably going to shut it down in September. Last year, I was peeking back through some of my old videos, and I think, make up a October nuke. And it did come around. A lot of the guys, I mean, if you were down in Florida and you wanted to make bees up and say September, October, maybe November, yeah, you could go down to Naples if you could find a spot down there. There was a trucking company down there that let me, there was a big old blonde that used to run that thing. And I walked in there, and she was having a meeting now, right? And I heard some really stern talking going on. She had these boys, all these truckers. You know, she had a whole fleet of these mini wheelers, dump trucks, 18-yard hauler jobs, you know. And she had these boys lined up along the wall, ripping them some kind of a new hiney, okay? This old girl run the roost, buddy. Let me tell you something. I walked into a hornet's nest and had little old Bob with me, my sidekick. He was up there. He was bumping 80 years old, little short fellow, tough as they come. He was my sidekick back in the day, and we walked into that room, and she turned around and looked at me real quick. And what can I do for you? And I looked over at old Bob, and his eyes were like this. He was a deer in the headlights, like, oh my God, what have we walked into here? I said, hi, ma'am, how you doing? My name is Steve Dennis, and I'm a beekeeper. Oh boy, she said, one of you guys. I said, yes, ma'am, there's a few of us around, and you are sitting in a huge punk forest here. Yep, we sure are, she said, we sure are. And I said, I'm looking for a bee location. I'll tell you what, buddy. I'll tell you what. She kind of liked me a little bit from get-go, just, you know, because she was really hot, pissed to the max, and I kind of brought her down a little bit when I was talking to her. And I'll tell you what. I want your phone number. I said, no problem. I had a pad, pencil I kept with me all the time for writing down locations, people's numbers, you know. And I said, I want your phone number. And I said, no problem. I put my name, phone number. I handed it to her. She said, you can go take them bees around, go around this block. There's a road you'll find over there directly north of this location. You can drive them bees down to the end. There's a cul-de-sac on the end of that road. I own that road. You can put your bees, that's right amongst the forest. You can put your bees there. But I'm going to tell you something, buddy. One time. If I get any calls from anyone about anything about bees, you're getting a phone call and you're getting them bees off of my site. I said, yes, ma'am, no problem. I said, do you need rental money or something, or some honey? I don't need any rental money, and I don't need any of that sticky honey either. Sick of honey. Yes, ma'am. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, is that all, sir? I said, yes, ma'am, that'll be all. That'll be all. Thank you. And I walked out, and she went right back into them guys. Oh boy, she was ripping them a new one, guys. Let me tell you what, I didn't want to be in that room any longer. No sirree. She was stinging like a whole hive of killer bees, buddy. And let me tell you something. I didn't want to be in them boy shoes. So anyway, that's a little story of that. Dr. Talk and killer blondes. Yeah, she was a killer blonde, let me tell you. Big old girl, too. And she could pick up one of them truck drivers and body slam him through the freaking wall down there. And she knew it, too. Anyway, all right, let's get out back and let's look at my pollination, Steve-O pollination service. Maybe I can grow wings and I can go, you know, go commercial on this thing. I don't know. Let's go check it out. Okay, guys, look at it. She's stretching on out these vines and stuff. Here's old Steve-O's pollinating brush right here. Yep. This one here, all I did was go around and stick my brush down in there and twirl it around and get pollen on it, and I'd go down through all these. And you do it first thing in the morning. And look at the squash I'm getting, guys. Some over there, there. It just keeps coming. Now this sun is really hot. It's really heating up. And these are wilting a little bit. But look at the fruit that's coming on, guys. Look at this stuff coming on. Hopefully, there's a nice big one right there. That thing will get a lot bigger. They're all up under here. Look at them. Look at them. I went through. Look at the size of them puppies. I mean, they're just getting started, guys. Look at them. Look at them. I got 2 beds of them like that. Look at here. More. What I did, they just keep going. I don't think we're going to have that much more bloom action here. But what I do is start at the end down here. I start at the end, and I just dip every flower, just go around and around and around with my brush, right? And I go through everything, all 3 beds. There's a few over there, but that's in the shade. You can see how not so much. This is really flourishing because it's out here in the full sun. I really need to pull that bed there and put it up here. And then maybe let that be room for more beehives back there. That would be good. I wouldn't be in full sun, but it would be a nice place to work bees for me anyway. And it's not in the morning. That's lit up. That is lit up with sunlight. So anyway, yeah. And then I go all the way through with my little brush here. And then I go back through again. So I'm picking up pollen and just repeating it, you know, over and over again. And we just keep making more squash. Yeah. This is keto, by the way. You can eat this. This is butternut. This is keto friendly. So I just had to show you that, guys. And sorry we don't have any bee action for you, but that's coming up. We're going to be putting more in boxes. These guys are coming on. They're filling up nice. And by the 20th, well, it'll be next week, actually. Next weekend is the, I think, 23rd. We can start, you know, if the weather's nice, we'll dive in here and start doing some, we'll start doing some more bee making. Yeah, look at there, guys. 6 eggs. I got to get in here today and clean this out. All I do to clean this out, guys, it's simple. I throw all these shavings on it. I keep them in that garbage can right over there. And I just put that lid on the ground, throw a few handfuls of shavings on it. Then I come over here and I take this, I get in here by hand and just throw all this stuff right out the front door. 2 seconds takes me to throw all this stuff out the front door. Then I just take my lid, stick in here and shake out the shavings. And that's it. It's simple chicken tractor. And that's what's feeding all these beds. It's chicken manure, shavings, wood shavings, biochar. And when you do that, this is what you get. The only thing I dummied up on with this scenario, I got a 42-inch cutting deck on my John Deere. And I didn't put 42 inches between here because I really would like to drive the mower right down through here on that. Yeah, so that would work. I could tighten this bed up actually. I could take this bed here and move it over there, right? And then take this row of bricks here, blocks, concrete blocks. See, actually, all these beds have pushed these blocks up. I got to just realign them. They're stacked too high. They're stacked too high is what they are here. So all I'd have to do is move this lane of bricks here, leave this like it is, move that over because I wanted 4-foot beds in here. And so actually, no, that won't work either because I've got my, as you can see, my chicken tractor is the width of this thing. So I'd have to move. Probably what I could do is have to move both runs of blocks, move them over. So I get my 42-inch deck down through here. And then when I set up the other one over there, put a 42-inch spacing in there, put a 50-inch spacing in there so I know darn well I've got good room for the tractor. And then I can run beehives down through here. So that'll work. I've got my swarm traps up here in the wood, up in the trees. I've got one here. They've never caught anything. They've been dangling there for 3 years. Haven't caught a thing in them. Nothing. But what I have been doing has been robbing cells, swarm cells out, which has pretty much stopped my swarming. If you don't get in these hives early, you're going to have a swarming issue, and then you can just watch $100 bills fly away. Because every swarm that goes out of your hives, guys, it's a $100 bill. You might as well put a wings on a $100 bill and watch it fly off, okay? So get in them hives early in the spring. Be checking them and robbing out them swarm cells and making up your little 2-frame nooks with them. And that'll work out nice. So anyway, I got a little more overhauling to do here, but not that big a deal. I could do that this winter when it's nice and cool out. I'm not going to hump all these blocks when it's 95 degrees and 100% humidity here in Florida Hill heat. I'm not going to do that. Let's work with nature instead of against it, and let's work with let's have you work with nature, okay? And that way you can stay away from these doctors and go on the old Steve-O plan. All right, God bless you guys. Stay strong, stay healthy, because we got to keep getting her on. See you later. Bye-bye.